What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday, happy Easter, and happy Sunday. So I hope y'all are doing well. I am up and decided I was going to do laundry in the morning while I was working, but I was like, let me just get up and start it now. So, yeah, it's a little late, but, anywho, and it's not like I'm going anywhere, so, might as well do some laundry and talk to y'all. But I've been debating if I want to do this live, and I said, let me go ahead and just do it, and let's chat. Y'all know I don't share a lot about my personal life and journey, and I still won't. If you know me, you know me. I don't even have to explain it. But I will share a little bit. So, those of you who know, y'all know I've been on this weight loss journey for quite some time. And I do have a YouTube page, which I haven't posted as much as I was posting on that page. It's called Siobhan's Life After Loss. It was just something that I kind of set up because a friend of mine was telling me that I should document my journey, which I probably should have started documenting it early on, but it wasn't something that was in my mindset to do. So just here and there, I'll kind of put little things out there. And y'all know I work out, and when I can, I don't work out as much as I used to, but I still work out, and I'm with my trainer and all that good stuff. So, but what brought me to doing this live is I had a doctor's appointment, and I didn't have it with my primary. I was with the assistant, and we were talking about some things, and I was asking him some questions, and he told me that one of the questions I was asking, he was saying that because I'm no longer technically obese, that something I was asking him, like it wouldn't, my insurance, I was asking him about a medication or something, and the insurance wouldn't cover it. And I'm like, and I really wasn't, about the insurance not covered. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. But then it's like, I'm not obese no more. Like, I knew that, and I'm not saying that to be like, oh my God, I want to be obese again. Like, yeah, no. But, and I was talking to my coworker about this, and I was talking to my trainer about this, but it's like when people don't walk in your shoes, and everybody has their own journey. Everybody goes through their own thing. So we all live life differently. But people won't understand certain things you say. And when I say, oh my God, I'm not, because when you self-identify with something for so long, and then that's like taken away, and that's like, no, you're not that no more. You like, yes, thank God. But then you like, wait a minute, huh? I can't use that as a crutch no more. I can't use that as a, that was my go-to joke, here and there, to my comfort joke sometimes, or, what have you. And, it's, to some people, it won't make sense. It won't make sense. And it's not supposed to. But like I said, we all have our own journey. We all go through different things. We all have different paths, But for me, I was just like, what you mean? I'm not obese no more. Like, okay, fine. But I'm like, it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm finna go like eat this and eat. No, it wasn't like that type of feeling. It was just like something you self-identify with for so long. It's just like, yeah, you not that no more. And it's like, thank God. But it's just like, oh, cause all this time in my head, I'm looking at me, and I'm like, I still got things. And I know a lot of me is excess skin. Because for those of you who don't know my story, my highest weight, I was probably, and I'm about 6'7", about 6 years into my journey. But my highest weight, I was about 505. That was my highest weight, somewhere around there. And when I started my journey, I was about 4 something. And then right now, and that's with all the excess skin and stuff like that, I'm about 2 something if my legs don't swell. And that's another thing we're gonna talk about too. So, you know, I basically lost like a whole person, you know, so, and I'm thankful for that. So with that, and like me and my coworker, we talk about it, you know, that's my work bestie. We talk about it a lot. We talk about body dysmorphia, and you know, and everybody goes through things, and we deal with things, and we see things differently. And like I told people for a long time, and I still tell people now, that sometimes what you see is not what I see. You can see a smaller Siobhan, but Siobhan may see glimpses of the old Siobhan. Now, I don't see it like how I used to see it, because when I first lost a lot of the weight, I could walk past a mirror and be like, oh, that's me. Like, I didn't see that before, because like I could look in my mirror and see one thing, but I go in the store and just walk past the mirror at the store and be like, oh, that's what people seeing. Like, it's a mental thing. So, and it's not to say, and I know it's up, because like I've had these conversations with other people, and it's not to say like you crazy or you know, you out your mind or what. It's things that you deal with because you've carried around all this weight on your body for so long, and then all of a sudden you done lost it. And so your mind has to catch up and be like, oh, you're not a big girl no more. And even I don't know how the men deal with it, and I'm pretty sure they go through their thing too. Oh, you're not a big boy no more. And it's like, you know, I was kind of like looking at it, and like it's also, when I looked it up, I had to look it up as well, because I wanted to kind of, I like to research things as well, but it's called, they have it listed as phantom fat, which is crazy to me. But it's like when you lose a significant amount of weight, but still perceive yourself as larger. And that's something that I was dealing with. And I still have my moments. And you know, I have people that tell me, oh, you don't need to lose no more weight. And it's like right now, people don't, and it's like I say, my journey is not for nobody else to understand. It's really not. It's not for nobody to understand but me and God. Not for nobody to understand, but people don't understand that they don't see what I see when I take all this off. They don't see what I see. Yeah, a lot of it, like I say, is loose skin, the excess skin. I get it, like I know, but it's also about maintaining, because people don't understand, like when you lose weight, you can't just lose the weight and just be like, all right, I lost it, I'm good. I'm not going to do nothing else. There is a maintenance that has to take place. That's just like when people have surgeries or even when you get a new car, like you have maintenance that you have to do to maintain it. So I have to do maintenance to maintain this, because if I'm just like today, yeah, I ate a little crazy today. You know, I had some donut. I had donut. I did. It was good too. But it's not something I do every day. Like I brought donuts. Okay, they gonna go in the freezer. Like I'm not gonna sit there and just eat. But there is a maintenance that has to take place. So do I feel like I still have some more weight that I want to lose? I do. Is my body going to be like, okay, we gonna lose it? No. Because it's like I said, it's excess skin. And like me and my doctor, we've had this conversation. And you never know, my body might, do what it's gonna do. But right now, no. But there is still a factor of maintenance. So I still work out. Yes, I do make sure I watch the things that I eat. I don't sit there and just eat crazy every day, because I'm not going to. Because I know how I used to eat, and I know there's certain things that I'm like, okay, if I go back to eating that, that's going to trigger certain things for me to be like, yeah, I'm just going to continue to eat this, and this, and this. And you might have people around you that are like, oh, it's okay, go ahead and eat this and go ahead and eat that. And I've listened to, because like I had, like, even with this body dysmorphic disorder, like it'll tell you, like you get hyper focused on certain things. Like I had like my certain, and I still do, I have my certain breakfast I eat, which I've tried to switch it up. I wouldn't eat a certain amount. I had one point where I wouldn't eat lunch. I have dinner, but I would cut off certain things. So I wasn't eating enough. So then, like, when my doctors did my blood work, they was like, yep, Siobhan, your blood work sucks. Like, you don't have enough protein. You don't have enough of this. You don't have enough of that. What are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, I cut out XYZ because I felt like, because I was eating it, like it was making me gain weight. Like I don't want to gain no more weight. Like, and they were like, no, but you still have to have a healthy balance. Like you still have to do what you're supposed to do. Like you don't want to get sick. So I had to change my mindset and say, okay, Siobhan, you gotta eat. But you don't have to eat crazy, but you have to eat the right things. So, and I'm still working on figuring out what works for my body, because you can listen to everybody. Everybody's going to have an opinion. And that's another reason why I don't talk to any and everybody about my journey, because everybody is going to have an opinion, and it's okay. We know iron sharpens iron, but everybody does not know what's best for your body. And that's the important thing. Because what works for you may not work for me. Like I've had people tell me 90 million things and it doesn't work for me. I've listened to people and I'm like, okay, I'm going to eat this. I'm going to try this. And I'll be like, yep, that did not work for me. That didn't work. So I had to learn to switch things up. And I'm still learning. Even 6 years in of my journey, I'm still learning. I'm still learning, and I'm still growing. So it takes work. It does. And with this whole thing, which, and like I said, it's called phantom fat. You see something different than what other people see. Y'all can see this smaller version of Siobhan, but when Siobhan looks in the mirror, I don't see that. Like I see glimpses of it. Now I'm better with it, but before I might have seen glimpses of it, but I would still see that 300 and 400 pound version of me. I wouldn't see what you guys saw. And even now, like I'll have people tell me, oh, you don't need to do this, you don't need to work out, you good. No, I'm not. I have to maintain. I can't just sit on my behind and do nothing. I'm not going to do that. If I do that, I'm going to fall back into old habits. Now that's my mindset. Now what works for you works for you, but sitting around doesn't work for me. And I'm not going to sit around. Now, do I work out as much as I used to? No, but I still work out. I had to change up some stuff. Like I recently just switched to doing one-on-ones with my trainer, which is, it's a little more intense of a workout, but it's working for me. So, and even with the going back to the body dysmorphic disorder, you know, I had moments of, and I still have moments where I'm hyper focused on the scale, or I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna weigh in because I know, you know, it's gonna be this, or I know, okay, I can't get constantly weigh in on the scale because it starts to affect your mental. It's like, okay, if I'm constantly getting on the scale, and then because you know, you gain water weight daily. Us as women, we retain fluid, like we retain water. So it's like daily, your weight is gonna fluctuate. So me, I'm getting on the scale every day, getting on the scale every day, and I'm like, I done gained this, I done gained that. And it's like, it starts to mess with your mind, because it's like, okay, I'm trying to lose weight, but I'm gaining weight, but I'm really not. It's fluid retention. Because I'm like, I would talk to my doctor, and I'm like, hey, my clothes still fit the same, but the scale not doing what it's supposed to do. You know, I'm working out, but the scale is not doing what it's supposed to do. You know, and I'm getting so hyper focused on this, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna stop eating this and I'm gonna stop eating that, and then that throws everything off. So then you have to change your mindset. You got to be like, okay, you know what? I got to focus on the right thing. I can't focus on the scale all the time, because I know that's going to go up and down. I get it. But as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and I'm not out here eating bonbons and Skittles and whatever else, you know, and I'm being active and just staying focused, that's what matters. So, you know, that's part of my journey that I wanted to share with y'all. And like I said, I don't share a lot, and I'll say it again, if you know me, you know me. You know, I don't share a lot about my personal life. But yeah, when he said you're not obese, you're not technically obese, I'm like, cause me, I'm quick to be like, if I go somewhere, I'm like, is that chair fat people friendly? And they be looking at me like, why is you worried about that now? And I'm like, why not? Because that's what I've always leaned on. That's what I've always said. That's what that was always my go-to. You know, if somebody sit down and I gotta sit next to them, I'd be like, is that enough room? And they'd be like, girl, sit down. Like, you are not like the size that you were before. But in my mind, you know, I'm just like, because like I said, when you are so, like, when that's your crutch, when this weight is your crutch, and that's your go-to, that's what you used to. It's what you used to. So your mindset has to change. And it's not, like I said, it's not to say that you crazy. It's not to say something wrong with you. It's just the chemical balance, like, in whatever you want to call it. It's all this in your mind. It just has to shift. And it has to catch up with the weight that you've lost. And that's just what it is. You know, I've come a long way from where I was. And like I say, and I'll tell y'all again, when people would tell me, girl, you look good, you done lost all this weight, I would say thank you, but I wouldn't see what they saw. I would still see those 300 and 400 pounds. Even though I had lost it, I would still see it. I just didn't see what they saw. So it takes work. And like they'll say, you know, if you feel a certain way, get counseling. Whatever works for you, works for you. Do what you need to do. And I'm by no means, I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor. I'm just sharing my story. I'm just sharing what works for me, what I've dealt with, what my journey has been like, what it is like, because I'm still on it. And like I tell people, it's not a diet. This is a lifestyle. Diets are temporary. So like when people, and like my mom, she don't be meaning no harm. She be like, yeah, that diet food or I'm like, Mom, it's not a diet. Like, it's not. But it's a lifestyle change, because diets are temporary. They're temporary. But this is a lifestyle change. I'm gonna have the stuff that I'm doing now, I'm gonna have to do for the rest of my life. It's not something that I can be like, oh, I'm gonna do this today and never again, ever. No. The stuff that I'm doing today, I gotta do it tomorrow. I gotta do it the next day. I gotta do it the next day. I have to keep doing it. I have to make sure I have enough protein in my body. I gotta make sure I keep my iron count up. It's a lot that goes into this, but I thank God for it every single day, and I will never, ever go back to where I was. Never. Ever. Are there things that I still deal with? Yes. I still have knee issues, because people don't realize when you carry so much weight on your body, it does a lot of damage that you don't even realize. It does a lot of damage. So yeah, I need knee surgery on both of my knees. I have severe arthritis. Right now I'm too young to get it done. So it's not, I need it, but am I going to do it? No. Because if I get it done now, I'm going to have to turn around and get it done again. So, I have issues with leg swelling. That's a whole nother entity in itself. But it's like, I know what the issue is with that. Like, I've had tests and all that, but it's like when you tell people, everybody got a solution. Oh, do this and do that and take this, and when you take the water pill, drink water. Like, I do all that. Like, I know what I'm supposed to do, but everybody's body is different. Certain things just don't work. So you got to do alternatives. You got to work with your doctors. You got to work this out. You got to work that out. You got to switch up some things. Like I say, everybody has a solution to everything, but you know what works for your body. So that's what you have to go with. What works for your body. Listen to your body. Listen to your mind. Listen to your doctors. Pray about it. Listen to your doctors. And pray about it. But you know what's best for you, and you know what works for you. And like, I know what works for me. Like, I can sit here now, like I'm sitting here now, and my legs will swell up. I know why it's happening. I know what's going on, and I know, what I need to do to rectify the situation, working on it. So it is what it is. I just deal with it, but I don't let it stop me, and I'm not going to. So that's a part of my journey that I wanted to share with y'all. So, but for those of y'all who are out there going through your weight loss journey, stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. And it's good to have a support system, but I will always tell people, be your biggest support system. And I say that because, not to say that I don't have a support system, which I don't have a large support system. I absolutely don't. But, and it's not a bad thing. It is what it is. But you have to be your biggest support system. You have to be your biggest cheerleader, because when the chips are down and when it's just you can't depend on this person or that person to push you. You have to push yourself. I can't depend on this person or that person to push me to go work out, or to push me not to eat certain things, or not to drink certain things. I have to do that. I have to have that motivation. That's up to me at the end of the day. My trainer can give me the best meal plan in the world, but if I don't follow it, That's on me. That's on me. He can give me the best workout plan in the world. But if I choose to be like, yep, I'm going to go home and do whatever, that's on me. So you have to be your biggest support system and your biggest cheerleader. And if you do have a support system, find the right people to be around you. Get those around you that are going to encourage you. Get those around you that are going to push you, that are going to motivate you, and that you can motivate as well, because you got to be able to motivate others as well. It can't always be somebody pushing you and motivating you and you just sitting back and doing absolutely nothing. So just get the right people in place, and that's what's gonna keep you. And just keep people out of your ear. Do what, and I'll say it again, do what's best for you and your body. So, but that's all I had. Sound like my clothes done stopped washing. So I'm going to go put them in the dryer and I'm going to chill out for the rest of the night. But I wanted to just share that little bit of my life with y'all. So y'all be blessed and y'all have a wonderful, wonderful Easter. And enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Bye, y'all.